Alright, hello everyone and welcome to another one of Annie's replay cast. This is going to be match number 2716306074, and it's definitely going to be a very interesting match. A little bit of a longer game here, but there's going to be some twists and turns and it's going to be all good. So without further ado, we can go ahead and start introducing the teams. On the Dire side, we're going to have player 1 on our Cliff Jungling Prophet. Hamburger Get Me is going to be on the Drow Ranger. Over here towards the bottom we got Chipotle on the Clockwork, moving in towards the mid lane. Sunday on the Omni Knight. Over here we've got Emiya Shiru on the Storm Spirit. Looks like that's going to be our Dire squad on the side of the Radiant. Going for the top rune, we have got the Meow Mixer on the Keeper of the Light. Philip J. Fry is going to be on our Bloodseeker. Towards the bottom rune we are going to have Mariana Trench on the Earthshaker. Svetlana is going to be on the Phantom Assassin, and then finally towards our mid lane we have Spoils on the Sniper. So it looks like things are getting heated up a little bit towards that top rune. We're gonna have Nature's Prophet TPing in. I don't think the Keeper of the Light gets out of this when the Frost Arrows and the right clicks doing too much work, and player 1 is going to be securing that first blood for himself. So clearly putting it all into stats here, we have got 5 Iron Branches to start things off and the Blightstone. So that is a build. Yes sirree. Keeper of the Light moving into the top lane, dueling up with the Bloodseeker. Should be an alright lane, but Omni Knight can have some fun with this. Again, both Bloodseeker and Keeper of the Light have relatively low HP pools, and that little nuke coming out from the Purify could be very successful. And Drow Ranger is going to be going, just trying to get those last hits in, and should be reasonably successful. Keeper of the Light can right click her, but it's not going to be anything too spooky. She's got herself some Tango, she's got the Omni Knight to heal her up, so I'm thinking Drow Ranger's going to get a lot out of this lane up top. Our mid-match, it was going to be Sniper versus Storm Spirit. Now, ordinarily Storm Spirit has a pretty easy time in the mid lane just because he can use the Static Remnants to farm up, but Sniper seems like he's been really, really good about punishing the Storm Spirit every time he goes into range, every time he gets near the waves. So Sniper, while he may be doing very good on CS, is also doing very good at keeping Storm Spirit at bay, so that's something that can play out into the mid game, and we'll see how quickly Storm's able to get his level 6, because that's a pretty critical point. Storm level 6 is when he's really going to start to have his impact, so it's up for the Sniper to just keep him locked down, maybe kill him once or twice before he hits that ball lightning. Down bottom, we've got Earthshaker and Phantom Assassin just going in, taking care of this pulled wave. Chipotle on the Clockwork is going to have some trouble here. That is a very dangerous lane for a Clock. If he can escape without dying once in this laning phase, I will be incredibly surprised, because Earthshaker can punish him, can stun him in place, and Phantom Assassin just has the best gap close here. The dagger that can just go in and starts tearing him to shreds, and of course the blink just to get behind him. Up top, Coddle's able to go through, pick up the Drow Ranger, so it looks like Omni Knight was not able to get in close enough, didn't have the mana for the Purification. Philip J. Fry now moving in, they've got the mana leak here, he's going to stun himself up, and one more smack of Bloodseeker's Blade will secure another kill in this top lane, so this Coddle Bloodseeker lane is appropriately cancerous. Definitely getting the job done. We'll see if there's going to be some more action coming down in the mid, but Sniper, only level 3, does not have enough experience to get close to that Assassinate, but Storm Spirit actually staying in, weathering the storm a little bit. Now Bloodseeker is going to be speedy because he does have that Thirst picked up. Spoils taking a little bit of damage, but it doesn't appear that he's going to get punished unless Nature's Prophet is going to be TPing in. There's going to be a salve up from the Sniper. Nice reaction time. Pops up the shrapnel, but I don't think he can get away from this. Tries to right-click in a fit of panic, but will get brought down. So player 1 rotating in and helps secure a kill for the Storm Spirit, which is super essential to buying himself some space and some levels. Back into the top lane, Drow Ranger is once again just going to be going in. She's mana leaked up. Philip J. Fry taking some tower shots now and does have to run away. See if Drow Ranger's able to come back in. Doesn't have a successful lane, but looks like Sunday wants to go and has that Purification. Gonna get close enough. A fair amount of damage being done to the Bloodseeker right now. One more shot will get the kill, so Drow Ranger tying up this game. Now Sunday burns up a bit of his mana running away from the Keeper of the Light, but Coddle, that could be a pretty easy pick now as Bloodseeker's not there to defend. Do they have anything that can cancel the TP? Well, it doesn't appear so. Gust, of course, does not break that TP channel. Down bottom, Clockwork, again, still playing really safe. He has found himself 4 last hits, which is Pretty surprising here. Almost level 4 as well, so doing his best possible job to get into the wave, but Phantom Assassin is having a super easy time. 20 last hits already. She's already level 4.5, even though she's splitting the XP with the Earthshaker. So this is going to be a very strong Radiant lane. Looks like top is going pretty Radiant favorite as well, although with that last turnaround there, Drow Ranger might be having a bit of an easier time. And mid is still pretty even. I mean, Sniper has the potential to be doing a ton of damage, but it seems like with the cooperation of Nature's Prophet, Sniper can be punished. You can't just go in and harass the Storm Spirit to his heart's content and run away with 5 HP, because that global teleport is going to come in handy. Once again, more damage taken from the Clockwork, but he's doing his best. He's slowly finding money for his brown boots. Drow Ranger going in, burning up most of her mana just for a gust away. She's still going to be mana leaked. Coddle doing a great job keeping her harassed. Has that 1 point in mana leak. No points in Illuminate, but Bloodseeker's doing a more than adequate job of keeping the lane push, so you don't really need that big old nuke just yet. It'd be nice for some catch, especially when Drow Ranger Omni runs behind the tower, but definitely not something that's going to be detrimental here. The mana leak is certainly proving its worth now. Omni can just continue to do that. He can repel off the mana leak and just walk away, but that is going to whittle down his mana over time, and you can see already Omni having a couple more mana problems than he'd like to. He'd like to just keep spamming out the Purify, but does not have the items to do that. Back towards the mid, Sniper. It's going to be getting very, very close to his level 6. Storm Spirit, similar story. Ganking Storm Spirit now is almost essential, as Sniper is now going to pick up his Assassinate. Does he move forward and try to get this? Does he go in for the Shrapnel? Looks like he's playing this one patient, and Storm Spirit should be allowed to hit his level 6 without punish, unless, here we go, right about now, lock on, and it immediately, perfectly timed, Storm Spirit goes down, just gets a little overconfident, maybe doesn't realize that Sniper's a bit more ahead of him in terms of levels. Now stun connects onto our little Clockwork here. He's in some trouble, picks up a TP scroll. Can I actually get him out of here? He's going to Cogs and TP, and there's no mana for the Fissure. Phantom Assassin burns herself on the Cogs, and well, perhaps appropriately, perhaps not. There is some all-chat flame coming out of the Clockwork for the second time this game. Bloodseeker continuing to do really well for himself. Looking at the last hit chart here, 3 of the top last hitters are going to be on the Radiant side. Drow Ranger, she's doing her best to keep up. Similar story with the Storm Spirit, but the lanes are just really strong from the Radiant right now. Sniper went in, he got the punish he needed. He's had a pretty successful last hitting time in the mid. Down here in the bot, PA just, of course, complete freedom because Clockwork isn't going to be doing much to stop her. And in the top, Bloodseeker is just going to stay healthy no matter how much spam comes out at him. So Drow Ranger may struggle here, going to be only level 5.5, matched up with the Bloodseeker, but I mean, she desperately needs some items. Bloodseeker already has his treads, and Drow Ranger has her Aquila, but tier 2 boots would be great. Now Omni Knight coming back into the party. Let's see if they're going to go in and at least find some damage here. Keeper the Light now has his level 5, picks up the 2 points in Illuminate, so maybe easily able to harass down these top laners. Now mid lane, Storm Spirit getting a little bit low, is going to be snapped on by the Sniper. Sniper has his Illuminate. Storm Spirit is just really intent on going deep here, as Sniper is going to be sitting on the low ground. Salve up means Storm Spirit is going to be relatively alright, just going back in, but gonna have to continue taking the Sniper's damage, and Sniper's only gonna get more obnoxious sitting there. Still 3 Iron Branches, gonna be flying in some treads. Surprised he's maxed out Shrapnel here. That build is a little bit out of favor. Sure, it does help zone the Storms back a little bit, but I think with heroes that do have such good gap close, like the Drow Ranger, like the Clockwork, you're gonna want to prioritize take aim just to be able to get back in. Now there's going to be a TP in. Our little Nature's Prophet goes. Sprout off the mark. They're not able to catch Philip J. Fry, but looks like they could switch their target onto this Keeper of the Light, but he's going to juke and jive his way down. Meanwhile, mid lane, Sniper was able to get a kill onto the Storm Spirit. Had to commit his Assassinate, but again, very worthwhile keeping Storm Spirit out of the party. He's starting to fall behind a little bit in terms of farm. You look at his 23 last hits to Sniper's almost 40. And in overall net worth, he's going to be sitting right about middle of the pack with his Drow Ranger, but you can see there's a lot of heroes on Radiant that are really starting to accelerate. Up here in the top lane, looks like there might actually be some punish coming in. Bloodseeker trying to take the aggro, and it will be successful. Just baiting one shot onto him, making sure that Keeper of the Light gets away safely. There's a TP out from our Nature's Prophet. Going back in for this. Is going to be able to find it. Will he give his own life for it, though? He buys himself some boots, but doesn't have a TP. It looks like he's going to be unpunished. The thirst does reveal him, but Bloodseeker, he's got his eyes on bigger targets up top, wanting to go in, harass down the Omni Knight, but just going to settle for Going and Blood Raging up, filling back up to full. And Nature's Prophet was just going to go deny himself to neutrals right here. Down in the bottom lane, Phantom Assassin does pick off the Clockwork, just has to commit a dagger, and of course that little coup de grace doing its work, just tearing right through him. His overall HP is not that impressive. He's only got himself 4 armor and a bracer, so not really something he can deal with at this point. So overall kill score 6-4. Things are looking pretty good for the Radiant. Again, their lane setups are just feeling really strong at this point.
Incoming.
Phantom Assassin getting a lot of free space. She's missed out on a couple easier kills, but again, sometimes it takes time to get going as that position 1 in the bottom lane. She's now got herself a Helm of the Dominator, so ancient stacks, or just neutral stacks should be coming up. Lifesteal, of course, is going to make it so she can be a little bit more aggressive, whether she wants to turn that into a Satanic later on. Player 1 continuing his cliff jungling. He's already got himself a Midas, and looks like Treads aren't too far off here, so he's having some fun. Just going in, taking out these Wild Wings slowly but surely, and well, he is doing a decent job holding his impact here. With that Midas, he bumps himself up to 2nd on the net worth chart, so definitely having an impact here. Now Chipotle going to get blasted down by an Illuminate, and a dagger connects as well. There is going to be that Purify, or rather the Repel off, to make sure that Clockwork's able to get back and salve himself up. Meanwhile, in the top lane, there's going to be a TP out. Bloodseeker commits his Rupture, but doesn't have the damage here. I think that is something that Radiant are lacking overall, is that stun. Pretty much only Earthshaker able to go and cancel TPs unless PA is going to pick up a Basher, Bloodseeker wants to pick up an Abyssal. Those are much more later game items that aren't going to pay off immediately. Invis Storm Spirit here would really like to go in the Sniper. They're going to be bringing in the Nature's Prophet as well. They go in with the Sprout. There's going to be no Quelling Blade, no way to cut himself out of here, so he's just got to sit there and take it. Pops into the Shrapnel, but will be picked off under his own tier 1 tower.
Fear nothing.
Keeper the Light just playing around here. It's a dangerous game, as Omni Knight does have pretty strong kill potential with that Clockwork now with the hook shot. Now, meanwhile, Bloodseeker was able to get the kill onto our Nature's Prophet. There's going to be a Rupture. Storm Spirit, there's not much he can do, but Bloodseeker, can he actually get under the tower? Surprised he's not playing a little more aggressive. That was very, very close. And now Drow Ranger comes in to try to harass back the Bloodseeker, and will be able to do it with the assists of the mid-tower shots. That means Storm Spirit just sits back, looks pretty. He's got no more thirst on him because Bloodseeker's dead. He's just going to go buy out, either walk back home, deny to neutrals, whatever. He feels good. Omni Knight here doing an alright job with the warding, just popping out a pretty obvious ward here. Keeper of the Light does not have any sentries, not able to deward that. Going to get some of his mana burned, going to be hookshotting in, and that means he does not have enough for cogs. He's going to stun himself just on his retreat, so a little bit of quirky play coming out from Chipotle. Clockwork not quite budgeting his mana correctly there with the mana leak on.
Missing bottom.
Gonna have Earthshaker just continue to farm up top. He's already got his Soul Ring. He's got a decent amount of gold here, whether he wants to go for Arcane Boots or a very early Blink Dagger. He's got some options open to him. Mid lane, Drow Ranger. She's sitting back, feeling pretty relaxed about everything. She's getting some good farm for herself. It's going to be middle of the pack right behind her Storm Spirit, but Drows can definitely come back in this. She hasn't really hit her timing yet. About 20 minutes is when we're really going to start to see the impact of Drow in combination with the Storm Spirit. That Precision Aura is going to be pretty great. Now up top, we are going to have Mariana Trench in some trouble. There's just going to be 3 dire heroes huddled around this Earthshaker. He does have his Echo Slam. If he gets this off, it's going to be great. He is able to go through, but oh man, the Purify damage is just way too much. Storm Spirit coming in, secures the kill for himself. Meanwhile, Sniper is able to get the kill on Drow. She was kind of abandoned in that mid lane as everyone else switched their target to top, so that's a pretty big death for her. That's her 2nd death of the game, and it really is starting to affect that net worth. She's not really going in the direction you'd like. Top tower taking some pressure. You'd love the Drow to be able to contribute to this, as she is doing a decent amount of damage right now. Storm Spirit with a deep movement trying to get onto the Keeper of the Light, but it seems like Dire are going to be a little bit fragmented now. Can they actually go for the punish here? Chipotle under the tower is going to get mana leaked up, ruptured up when he moves. his health and mana fall, it looks like he will lose his life in this engage. A little bit of overcommit, a little bit of greed from the Dire side, and Radiant, but they're going to take that opportunity. Philip J. Fry doing a pretty good job on the Bloodseeker now with the Shadow Blade as well, so he can gank offensively as well as just defend his structures. Storm Spirit continuing to farm up. Looks like he's got his Arcane Boots, Soul Ring, so Bloodstone going to be the highest priority for him, and should be pretty well timed as well. Full health Assassinate coming in. Just a little harassed there, but nothing Storm Spirit can't deal with. Meanwhile, Omni Knight just going head to head with our Bloodseeker. Omni saving up a good amount of gold, potentially thinking about Blink Dagger if he doesn't want to finish up his mech right away. Illuminate coming in, just going to do a fair amount here. Sunday now at half health. Bloodseeker reinitiating with that Blood Right, but not going to catch out anyone. They are easily able to juke and jive themselves away. Down bottom, Phantom Assassin is killed off. It does take 3 heroes rotating forward to try to get that kill, but they are successful. And that's going to be some free pressure onto this bottom tower, which is a really nice control point of the Radiant jungle. What sacrifices they have to make there, I'm not quite sure. Sunday going to go ahead and get ruptured here. He pops in the Guardian Angel just to try to run away and stop the pain. They're going to be bringing in D-Meow Mixer. If he wants to go in for that mana leak, he will do so. Chipotle getting low, will stun himself. Philip J. Fry can just go in for the Blood Rage and heal himself back up, and that will be the play. Just getting right back into the wave, not missing out on any farm time. Speaking of farm time, Sniper playing with fire in a very dangerous location, knowing that this bottom tower was just getting pressured. And there are a good heap of Dire heroes in the mix. He's going in onto the Nature's Prophet. He's able to get off the Assassinate. I don't think that's going to be enough damage. He's going for the TP out and should be able to leave successfully. A Mask of Madness. Sniper initiating onto the Drow Ranger. Drow, things get hairy, can just gust and try to run away. Shrapnel slowing him down. Sniper, he's hot on his heels. He's just moving forward, and now the Assassinate might be enough. He's got 2 seconds. Can he keep vision here? Looks like Drow going in for the TP, but one more shot will be enough for Sniper to secure that kill. It seemed aggressive, but the Mask of Madness really opened up that opportunity. Alright, Storm Spirit just walking around. He's feeling good. Got that second component of his Soul Booster. Bloodseeker continuing to farm, and oh, here we go. Maybe some initiation onto the Storm Spirit. He can ball lightning through this. He's going to be invulnerable, but getting charged up, and there he goes, moving up to the high ground, grabs the Keeper of the Light very aggressively, but rotation in from the Earthshaker might just buy some time, but look at that shot right there. Beautiful damage coming out from our Storm, and he's going to go ahead and start his snowball here. He's 4-2-2, but Bloodseeker having none of that. Radiant, you can feel them suffering from the lack of stuns. You'd love something like Avenge just to go and keep breaking those TPs over and over again, but for now that's going to be Dire's secret weapon. Just, you know, if you're Omni Knight, just repel BK or repel TP out. If you're Clockwork, just TP out. If you're Drow, Gust TP out. There's nothing that can really stop it unless your Earthshaker's right on top of you with a healthy mana pool, which is something he's been struggling.
Purification.
Clockwork doing his best here. Really surprised he didn't have a more tough laning phase than he did. Of course, the PA was able to get him down twice, but still, from an off-lane Clockwork against such an aggressive, such a gap-closey lane, I think he did a really great job. Now we'll see what kind of impact he's going to have in the mid-game. Omni Knight sitting back, just able to go repel himself off and run away. He actually pops the Guardian Angel because look how fast Sniper is hitting with that Mask of Madness activated. Looks like he's going to be going in, trying to get the most out of his mana, switching his treads, and is going to be able to successfully repel the Assassinate shot coming in. But looks like Chipotle will not be so lucky. If he is going for a Blade Mail, it's not going to be in time. Chipotle actually gets out once again. Radiant, with lack of stuns coming in, they already dropped the Fissure and didn't have it up again, so not enough damage. If Mariana Trench was there, he could have gone with the Echo Slam just to finish the job, but it's an expensive kill for something like Clockwork, and I think Dire are reading this great. They're reading that Radiant, they're going to play really aggressive. They're not afraid to drop big spells on you, but they don't have the follow-through. They can't deal with TCs right now. There's going to be a nice Fissure, and the Dagger will finish the job, so Storm Spirit does go down. That's a big kill. Now Sprout finishing off the Keeper of the Light, trying to reinitiate here. Player 1 may have bitten off more than he can chew, and they are going to be able to stun up and kill that Nature's Prophet. So he's going to have a little bit of a rest here. He is top of the net worth chart, doing a very, very good job keeping himself relevant. Looks like the Javelin already picked up, so we'll see what he's going to be going in for that. Could be a really early MKB if he wanted to get rid of that PA's blur, but it is a really expensive item, although Nature's Prophet not going to have too much trouble with that as he's getting a lot of use out of a super early Midas. Omni Knight now working in towards that mechanism. He's going to drop some iron branches in the ground. I think he's still holding on to some friends here. It's going to be Nature's Prophet's iron branches. Alright, so things kind of staling out right now. It is going to be about 20 minutes in the game. This is where we should see the Drow strategy start to come online. It's where we're going to see Dire hit their first real peak of the game because they can go in and push, and they do have pretty good sustain. They're going to have Omni Knight Mech coming in. They've also got Guardian Angel to prolong these fights. Nature's Prophet can be ratting out wherever the Radiant is not dealing with the push coming in from the Drow Ranger. So this is where I'd expect the Dire to start becoming a serious problem for the Radiant. Between 20 and 25 minutes, there's going to be that first big power spike in favor of the Dire squad. Player 1 just going in. He's been cliff jungling these Ancients, and it's worked out so far for him. Looks like he's going to finish off big Golem number 1 and should be working in towards that MKB. Now mid lane, we're throwing out some casual assassinates to get the party started. Omni Knight is going to go ahead and burn his repel, and there's going to be a rupture on the back lines. He does not want to commit his Guardian Angel for this, but may have to. And he goes in. That's going to be a big ult. Philip J. Fry bit off way more than he can chew. TP in from the Nature's Prophet. Everyone just having a cogs party. But no one from the Radiant's willing to go in and send for backup. Drow Ranger continuing to farm, and she's got herself about 1,400 gold. We'll see what she wants to go for next, but wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, a Shadow Blade for her, some sort of initiation. She could, of course, just go for more typical Drow items if she wants to pick up like a Ags Mjolnir, just really get that splash going. The Tesla Ranger, it's all good. She's got herself some time. Again, this is where we really got to see that push coming in. The tier 1 top and bottom are down, but this mid has held for a little bit too long. There's not even that much harass on it. Sniper did a pretty good job in the early game of keeping the Storm Spirit, keeping any rotations back. Double damage Omni Knight could be a little vulnerable here. He doesn't have his Guardian Angel. Looks like Keeper of the Light's just going to walk in, immediate repel, not wanting to take any chances with Mana Leak. And looks like the laning phase is going smoothly here. Again, 20 minutes into the game. We're probably going to start to see a couple more team fights. Let's go ahead and fast forward until a little more action breaks out. Looks like Mana Leak into the middle, but nothing too crazy going on. Now Rupture coming back in. Philip J. Fry trying his luck here. There's going to be a hook coming back in, and Sunday going to get blasted down by an Illuminate. He's got himself to repel, but cannot defend against physical damage coming in. Now TP in from the Nature's Prophet and the Storm Spirit. This is going to start to turn in favor of the Dire. They go in, munch their way through the trees to get to the old man on a horse, and all of a sudden that is 2 dead in the mid lane, losing only an Omni Knight. So definitely a worthwhile trade for the Dire. Of course, Earthshaker went down previous to that fight, and that's going to be a pretty big gold swing coming out for our Storm Spirit. And we can still Nature's Prophet. He's still at the top of the chart in terms of overall net worth, and he's going to be finishing off as MKB now, so this Phantom Assassin is going to get a whole lot easier to deal with. His lane starting to go down. The max level shrapnel coming in. Player 1 in some serious trouble. And oh man, the Blink Echo comes in. Look at the damage coming out right now. 3 heroes dead. Radiant having a ultra successful defense. 1 shot to deny the tower, man. Come on, Spoils. Spoils. Spoils, it's got 7 HP. Please, sir. Is Omni Knight just... Yep, he can just go in and hit it once. This is a peculiar thing that's happening. Coddle, please. Just someone deny the tower. Please. Earthshaker? Anyone? It's lived its life. It's old and crippled. Put it out of its misery. Alright, guess the deny's not coming out, and we're gonna see if anyone's able to take that. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Light, extremely squishy, tries to go and ward and rotate on his own. Will end up getting killed off. Does commit the ultimate form before going down as well. So that's unfortunately going to be off out of commission for a little bit.
For the twins.
Bloodseeker going in onto Omni Knight, the degen aura. Slowed him down a little bit. Earthshaker, finally, my boy, with the deny in the mid lane. Oh, that was stressful. Nature's Prophet thinking about maybe initiating onto the PA. Again, Prophet, he's got himself that MKB. So PA is not going to have that missed chance anymore. Finally a basher for the Bloodseeker. I'm liking this. There's a scan coming in. Dire knows something's up. Who are they going to find? Looks like PA going to be bumping straight into Prophet, but he's slow. He's just kind of skirting himself around. PA feeling really comfortable getting out of that situation. So scan and global teleport used by the Prophet and not able to find any reward for it, although the rest of the Dire are going to be wrapping around using an Omni Illusion to scout. Sniper reveals himself as well as the Keeper of the Light, so Dire may be realizing there's a couple more heroes here than they can deal with. Decent farm coming in onto the Drow Ranger. Picked yourself up about 2,700 gold, but still sitting below the middle of the herd here. Just about on par with the Earthshaker. Not where you want your Drow Ranger to be right now. You'd like her to be a little bit closer to the top of the chart, especially at 25 minutes. That's really her time to shine. We'll see if some more nice kills are going to be making that up. Now, hookshot comes in, but a little bit off the mark there from Chipotle. Now, Chipotle has to run. There's going to be a Fisher coming in from the Earthshaker, but man, Philip J. Fry is going to go Shadowblade himself in. The Sniper slowly nipping at you from the back lines. Is it enough to get this done? Philip J. Fry tries to fight, but the Blade Mail proves to be too much, along with the Guardian Angel, and they get both the Sniper and the Bloodseeker. Two major sources of damage down on the Radiant side, and Dire feels safe pushing into the tier 2s now. Initiation here, and I think this Coddle is super dead. Omni Knight snagging up that kill for himself. He's still working on his mech. Surprised he hasn't flown in the recipe just yet. There we go. Just to make sure he gets that up to par. Now Chipotle getting super low, but of course Bloodseeker, he's dead. He can't punish this, and that's something that Radiant are really missing at this point. They need that punish. Tier 2 tower should be going down. You got your PA doing her best to defend here, but unfortunately not able to get a deny or any picks in the back lines, and Storm Spirit gets himself a free tower.
Fear nothing.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alright, things are planning out a little bit. Radiant definitely have a steep road ahead of them. Their lanes looked really strong, but again, Dire read it really well. They TP'd out of sticky situations. The Nature's Prophet, who started with a really well-timed Midas, has now gone in for a very early MKB, so PA is not going to be as much of a trouble to the Dire team, and it seems like they should be a bit of a powerhouse now. We'll see how well the Radiant's able to deal with that. Of course, they've got the Bloodseeker Shadowblade, which no one's really found a solution yet. The Dire not exactly carrying a whole bunch of dust and sentry wards, but is that going to be enough? Storm Spirit with that finished Bloodstone. Looks like he is going to be going in for the Orchid next. Seems like Dire, they're definitely playing as a unit. They know when to go in, they know when to go out. There's a lot of communication. The Radiant are feeling a bit more fragmented. I'm not quite sure if these guys are a stack or a team or just solo queuing, but you can definitely feel that there's a lot of individual opinions here. No one's really rotating as a group. No one's really going in for cohesive ganks. A lot of solo play. Meanwhile, Sniper killed off by the Prophet. Pretty nice little dive right there, and Sniper just couldn't do anything about it. He is so squishy, especially with that Mask of Madness. He has to be the initiator. If he's initiated on, it's not going to go so good for him. Bloodseeker. Very close to a lot of Dire heroes. Of course, Radiant Vision now a little bit lacking. They've got some aggressive vision up top. Gust off the mark here. Chipotle looking for that hook. Hits the siege creep. But there's going to be that slow coming in from the Frost Arrows. And they do hatch the Sprout as well. Do they have the AoE here? Sunday just getting in, dropping him down with that Purify. Earthshaker couldn't really do much about that. Keeper of the Light keeps on tossing out the Illuminates, but I don't really know if that's enough to withstand this pressure. There's a TP in from the PA, but that's a really close TP. That may have been a mistake there. Immediately gusted up and just has to sit back and watch her tower go down. Drow Ranger taking a couple tower shots, but that's not going to be too scary. 45 popped out, but is there anything you can really do here? Chipotle feels comfortable just tanking that one up. Of course, he's got himself the Blade Mail if he gets jumped on as well. So Radiant are now effectively corralled here. They had the PA go in. Looks Looks like she's going to be picking up a javelin. We'll see if that's going to be a YOLO rapier. It's possible, but I don't know. It's 28 minutes in. She could be backed into a corner. She has her BKB still sitting fresh at 10 charges, but it's definitely tough. You have a lot of damage dealers on the side of the Radiant, but your initiators are really, you know, Blinks in from the PA. It's going to be Earthshaker, Blink Fissures, Bloodseeker with a Shadow Blade. And again, not a whole lot of stun. Your big lockdown is only coming out of your Earthshaker, who's relatively easy to kite and control if you're on the Dire side. The mobility is great. You've got, of course, Global Teleports by Prophet. You've got Storm Spirit zipping every which way. Hookshots in by Clockwork. So once again, Dire reading this game successfully, and Radiant now have to come up with new strategies and more quirky things to do, because clearly just running at the Dire team isn't scaring them all that much. Overall net worth now really starting to favor the Dire. We talked about that moment at 25 minutes in where the Dire, just in terms of their lineup, in terms of their scaling, should be hitting their peak, and look at that, just like we talked about. Right at that 25-minute mark, it's starting to look really good. Almost 7,500 net worth lead going in favor of the Red Boys. Looks like they're about to get a Roshan and an Aegis as well, and they should be able to push high ground relatively soon, if not just finish up this top tier 2, get the lane pushed out. Storm Spirit taking the Aegis, so he'll be respawning with full health, full mana in any sticky situation, still with 12 charges on his Bloodstone. Hasn't been killed since he got it. He's really starting to spiral up the kills in his favor as well. 7, 4, and 6. Our Omni Knight has got his mech, and now he's going to be flying in the Greaves as well. So he's going to be hitting his full support stride now. It's pretty early timing for our Omni Knight to have all this. He's 3, 3, and 7, definitely helping out in these fights. The Repel is really, really good in this situation. You know someone's going to get assassinated. They're low. They're running away from a sniper. Just give them a little safety blanket. It's all good.
Fear not heresy.
Clockwork picking up that Aghanim Scepter. Let's see what fun he's going to have with that. Speaking of fun, you've got Keeper the Light who hops into the ultimate form. There is going to be a Rupture coming in onto the Omni Knight. Omni Knight can just sit there and take it. Worst case, has the Guardian Angel, but there we go. There's going to be the slam coming in, and the stun lasts too long for Omni to get off any sort of defensive skills. Aegis popped out from the Storm Spirit. Now they're jumping in onto this Drow Ranger. Storm Spirit wanting to have none of that. The BKB will expire, but oh, they're going back in. Nice double man gust, and Nature's Prophet comes in. He's going to be taking a lot of damage, but able to get down his target before he falls. Drow Ranger still getting low, will get nipped off by the sniper, so a really bloody battle will go the way of the Radiant. They lose their PA, but they end up burning Storm's Aegis, and they get the rest of the 4 heroes down. So effectively 5 deaths on the Dire side as they try to get a little bit too greedy too quickly. This is going to be a nice opportunity for the Radiant to start grabbing up some items, and we see the Earthshaker really doing well here. He has more net worth than I gave him credit for. He's got himself a nice early blink. He's also got the Aghanim Scepter, so that is definitely a good place for the Earthshaker to be. He can just bounce around and have some fun here, but I still worry that the Radiant are lacking lockdown, they're lacking teamfight sustain. They've got big ults to dish out, but once they do, they really just got to back off, and they're pretty vulnerable to gap close. Sniper, he just wants to sit on the back lines, not be touched, not want to be hooked on by the Clockwork. He does not want to directly 1v1 anyone. He just wants to be a quiet little sentry turret, contributing shrapnels and a couple of right clicks to these fights. Not ready to soak up any damage yet, but with heroes like a Nature's Prophet, like a Clockwork, and a Storm, he's going to have to be on the front line sometimes when he may not necessarily want to. Look in from the Storm Spirit, and just like we talked about, Sniper, super vulnerable to that gap close. Svetlana comes in, trying to do a hero's job here, has that BKB, but it's not doing anything against these right clicks. PA does end up going down, blinking towards her death, a very brave death, but that's going to be her 3rd death nonetheless. Omni Knight looks like he's going in for an Aghanim Scepter. That would be a fun little ulti to have there. And got Keeper the Light trying to solo defend this high ground. Now there is no Aegis. Again, the Storm Spirit was burned up in that last fight. That was super successful for the Radiant, but with no sniper and PA for over 30 seconds, it is now time for the Dire to strike. They've got that low ground push. Drow Ranger has got a MKB of her own, so this PA is really not having a fun time. There's going to be some damage taken by the Omni Knight, but of course he's going to be all right. Hook shot in. Chipotle just getting up close, trying to burn down that wave. I'm really surprised Drow Ranger hasn't been just nipping off the creeps and going in for that slow push. Oh, here we go. We've got the Orchid committed onto the Bloodseeker. I don't think he gets out of this one, but there's going to be an Echo Slam. Maybe Mariana Trench can get something out of this as PA respawns, links in, gets a kill on the Prophet. That is a high value kill. Now Chipotle is just going to be going down as well. PA really starting to rake in the gold here. Buyback coming in from the Bloodseeker as well. As they're going to go and they're going to find the Drow. And now they're just looking for this Storm Spirit. He's got low mana. He can ball lightning a little bit. He's got Bloodstone. But is that going to be enough here? Oh, the dagger! It ends up getting the bash. And he goes for the suicide there, not wanting to face the pain of a PA and Bloodseeker combo. So once again, Dire get a little too cocky. They try to slow siege, don't exactly budget it out, and get completely punished. That is another full wipe going in favor of the Radiant. It did cost a Bloodseeker buyback, but I mean, that's really worth it. The amount of experience he was able to secure from that fight, the fact that all the structures on the high ground are still sitting up and at good health, I mean, that's really good for the Radiant right now. Things are still looking all right for the Dire in terms of net worth, sitting close to about 10,000 net worth, overall XP, similar story, but now, look how fast the Sniper's able to hit. That's not even with his Mask of Madness on. He's just got attack speed for days on the back of this Mjolnir. And he's got himself 3,500 gold now for whatever he wants to go for next. Could be a Daedalus. Surprised there hasn't been a Desolator pick yet on the Radiant side. I thought that's something PA might want to snatch up, but she opted to go for the full strength build. Omni-Knight trying to do his best in terms of Observer wards and sentries. Dire's warding has been a little bit better than the Radiant's pretty consistently. You've got some vision going down near the Roche pit. No sentries there to scout him out. We'll see if Omni-Knight's going to rectify that pretty soon. Radiant, they've got some good defensive wards here. Dire's last round of wards just went down, and they were pretty nice. They had a lot of aggressive vision in the Radiant jungle, which is where they were getting a good number of their picks. There's going to be a Coddle callback. They want this to end, but not going to be quick enough. PA bit off more than she could shoot, trying to 1v1 that H's Prophet. You don't want to mess with him at this point. He's got a Dagon 5. Please relax, Prophet. Jesus. Chipotle, he's sitting back. He's got himself an Ags now, so he's going to have a much more frequent hook. He's going to be some really good initiation there. They can cancel TPs. They can lock down the Bloodseeker. We've seen Bloodseeker and Sniper try to go in and be sneaky and just try to nip at someone on the sidelines of the fight. Well, you go ahead and trap yourself in there in the cogs with Chipotle sitting there, blade milled up. Suddenly it gets a lot harder to go and try to be sneaky. You've got all the Dire now turning their attention to you. You're most likely to get picked off yourself. But Omni-Knight? Sir? I don't think that's a safe place to be. The rest of the Dire were a long ways away, and he really didn't need to be all the way out there. He's going in to plant a very aggressive ward, which, well, that's neat. It's a great ward, but is it really worth your death? Is that vision you're going to gain from the ward worth going down for 40 seconds and not providing your team with a Guardian Angel if you need to initiate? Bloodseeker now with an Abyssal Blade. I mean, he's really prioritized these big items, starting out with a Shadow Blade. That's pretty standard, but immediate basher into Abyssal Blade without going something like a Sanj and Yasha, without going for little stepping stones in between, may make the Bloodseeker's life a little bit more difficult in the long run, because he's just going to have a tougher time going in. And once he drops the Abyssal, unless he lands consistent bash procs, it's going to be like he's hitting with just a little bit less damage than he could be. Our Nature Boy still, again, very strongly on the top of this net worth chart. He's been doing a great job just getting the most out of the map, budgeting his time really well, rotating into important ganks while just leaving his team to fight out non-important fights, and he just keeps farming. So, I mean, he's showing that off. He had like a 6-7 minute Midas. He's got an MKB now. That was up before the 20-minute mark. He's now got a Dagon 5, and looks like this could be a whole number of things. If he wants to go for a, there it is, Desolator. Clockwork, eager to start things out with his new initiation tool. Just wanting to go in and rotate with the Storm Spirit, who did end up having to use the suicide in that last fight, so he's down from 17 charges to 12. Well, not exactly how you want your Storm Spirit, but he's still going to be looking good towards the late game. Dust comes out. They do catch the Bloodseeker, but the Sprout going to be a little too far away. They're not able to punish. They just know where he's at. Drow Ranger. She's picked herself up a Dragon Lance, so picking up a MKB before a Dragon Lance. Definitely some quirky itemization there, but the Lance will still be good. It's good at pretty much any point in the game. 40 minutes, 20 minutes, it's all great. Now, there's going to be a Rupture coming in. Player 1, can he deal with this? There's going to be a defensive Sprout here. The zip in. Oh, the blasting apart of the Bloodseeker. Now, they lose the Coddle as well, but nice ult there by Mariana's Trench. That's going to be dropping the Fissure as well, trying to buy some time for the PA to blink back to her allies. She's going to be tossing out daggers left and right, and it looks like that might be the end of the fight. Sniper, he's going hand. He wants to pick up something from this Sunday. Doesn't have the Guardian Angel, will be picked off. Now hooked back in onto the PA. She's most likely going to lose her life here. She's trying to man up on Chipotle, but isn't able to do so. And a zip in from the Storm Spirit will secure another kill. So everyone getting incredibly low here. It was just a couple blows back and forth from this being a 10 hero death, but it is end up going to favor the Dire squad. They keep their Drow, Clockwork, and Storm alive and take out everyone from the Radiant, even forcing a buyback from the Sniper just to keep his lanes clear. Sniper sitting back. He can definitely carry this game. You just got to make sure he itemizes correctly and doesn't keep going down in these fights. 8-6-11. It's still looking good. He's going to be near the top of the net worth for his team, but it's still a pretty steep mountain to climb, still sitting around 10,000 net worth in the Dire's favor, even more than that in terms of XP. So looking at how the levels are split out, you've got your Coddle, who just barely picks up his level 11, going against a level 22 Prophet, a level 21 Storm, heroes that are just going to be doing a lot more than you. They've got more stats, they've got more tools at their disposal, more skills to use, so it's tricky. The Radiant can come back from this, but they've got to really keep that focus going. Now our Omni Knight, he's getting closer to that Aghanim Scepter. He's been playing a pretty good support game, albeit a little bit greedy, definitely feeling safe going in and solo pushing. On the side of Radiant, you've got supports doing support things. The Earthshaker's been doing a great job. He takes what he needs to build up the items that he absolutely has to have in these team fights, but definitely just keeping his core safe as they farm. That's what he has to do right now. A Fissure to try to save someone's life is all good, but being there to stop the ganks in the first place is going to be a little bit more important. And the Keeper of the Light been trying his best. It's a really tough game for the Coddle just because there is so much gap close. Coddle is inherently incredibly squishy, but you know, it's all good. He's tried his best. He has died 10 times, but hopefully things are going to start to turn around again. He's got the Yules, so he buys himself a little bit of panic time. He can also initiate a little bit better to allow the damage dealers to get into the fight. But talking about just hardcore rolls, Coddle has been doing his job. He's been warding, he's been going in, really nice aggressive mana leaks. We'll see if he can start summoning his team to go with him with these rotations so he can die just a little bit less. Some slow, steady push in. Our Strong Spirit has picked up a Scythe of Vice, so he's now got even more disable. I mean, you just look at the disable coming out of the Radiant versus the Dire, and the Dire are on a whole different level. There's going to be a TP in. There's a dust here. Philip J. Fry caught out. Look at the damage coming out here. Storm Spirit actually collects the kill for that with the ball lightning damage. But, I mean, I think we can all agree Nature's Prophet deserved that one, as he is just an absolute machine right now. He deserves his spot on the top of that net worth chart. This Desolator starting to do some real good things. Meanwhile, the Radiant know there's an impending push coming in. Coddle hops into that spirit form to try to do what he can. He'll get the blinding light. He'll get a little bit more out of his spells, and Storm Spirit just zipping around, feeling pretty safe. The Omni Knight going in, repelling him up. Blink forward, Mariana's Trench doing what he can, will get the kill onto the Omni Knight. Now there's going to be no Guardian Angel. Things go awry. They do lose the Earthshaker, and PA starts backing off like a chicken with his head cut off, just not quite sure whether he's in or out. Sniper pops the Mask of Madness to try to do as much damage as possible, but is it going to be enough here? Arrow initiating. There's going to be a hook attempt in. Of course, the short cooldown hook from the Aghanim Scepter means he can try again. Player 1 in some damage. The dagger once again will bash and assassinate from the back lines. Means Spoils picks up another Spoil of War. I think that's going to be the end of the engage, but losing the Bloodseeker and the Earthshaker after a really beautiful Earthshaker engage to get 3 heroes down in the Dire is absolutely worth it from the Radiant. Very well played from them. Alright, Sniper definitely pulling his weight here. He has got a lot of gold. So we'll see if he's going to be going for something more defensive. We'll see if he's it's rapier time. That is a possibility. He's making his way towards the side shop, or secret shop. Sniper, what you doing, man? You're making me nervous. And he's just chilling out. Sells his wand, and it looks like he will pick up a demon edge. Is this actually a rapier? Come on, man. It's 43 minutes in. You're doing fine. You can still pick up a Daedalus. Again, rapier snipers, not exactly great in this game just because there is so much gap close. You've got Storm Spirit that can just go and zip you and lock you down long enough to burst you. Of course, we've seen the burst at Nature's Prophet. He's got a Dagon 5, for God's sakes. He can 3-shot Sniper, so even if Sniper's putting down like 900 damage a hit, I think Nature's Prophet might still be able to go in and close that gap and take a rapier for himself. That could be something great for the Dire. Our Ranger, meanwhile, starting to get some use out of that Dragon Lance. Really hitting some hard stuff now. She's got her 3 points in marksmanship, got her precision aura, so she's doing the work now. Meanwhile, down here, Storm Spirit goes in, and with the Prophet, they're able to go and find a kill onto the Coddle. So again, Coddle being the sacrificial lamb here, much better than the Sniper going down, better than pretty much anyone else on his team going down, but it's got to get demoralizing after a while. There's the Daedalus pickup from the Sniper, so he's going to be hitting pretty hard as well. He can crit for a good several hundred. Just a matter of when the Dire are going to be moving in. The Roche has been respawned for a while now. We'll see who's going to be the first one to hop into the pit. Bloodseeker could be in some trouble. Nice Fisher coming in. Earthshaker just bopping himself around, making use out of that Aghanim Scepter. They will end up losing their Bloodseeker, but Radiant at least make it a worthwhile trade, getting both the Storm and the Nature's Prophet from that. In terms of overall fight recap, that is going to super heavily favor the Radiant side. Sorry about that. Had to get some water. I have a pretty wicked cold, so just trying not to snot myself and lose my voice. Chipotle, he's got himself 2,700 gold on top of this Aghanim Scepter and Blade Mail. He's got to start making a little bit more progress, though. He's been doing what he can. Storm Spirit up to 13 Bloodstone charges, slowly but surely working his way back up after that suicide. And, almost 3k gold to his name, so we should be able to start picking up his next item relatively soon. Maybe something like a Lincoln's wouldn't be that bad here for a Storm Spirit, but of course Shiva's Guard, also a really nice option. I think it's a little bit more AoE. Crowd going in for the BKB, just not wanting to fall victim to any of the magic damage being put out by the Radiant right now. It's not much. But you know, just one real unlucky shot, one mana leak, one illuminate can definitely tear you down if you're already low health. Assassinate as well, just going in, gotta make sure you deal with that. The Omni-Knight's been doing a really great job. The repels have been pretty on point, just making sure that no one is taking damage they don't have to. We'll see if Omni-Knight's gonna get a little bit greedy now, because of course he does have the Aghanim Scepter, so he can start to go for a couple more selfish items if he wants to go for something like a refresher. Can definitely do that, and just trying to YOLO it down, keep everyone safe from all the magic or rather physical damage coming out. Mana Leak coming in, easily repelled off, and once again Coddle just trying to have an impact here. We haven't seen the Yules really come into play yet, but I got faith. I think this Coddle is doing everything possible to try to win this game for the Radiant. Definitely playing a good support role. Same story with the Earthshaker, whereas on the Dire side, you don't really have super defined supports. The Omni-Knight, yes, he's definitely playing that support role. He's picked up support items, but he's capable of doing more damage and being a little greedier than the supports on the Radiant. Sniper saving up, he's got himself some buyback if necessary. His next item he can start thinking about. He's already got the Mjolnir. So doing some good work clearing out creep waves there, but still need that special something coming out. There are no Desolators on the side of the Radiant just yet, something that either Sniper or PA could pick up. It's going to add a lot to their team fight, just able to cut through some of the armor being put out here. It's not much, but can definitely be worthwhile. Now Dire's going to scan the Radiant base. Just making sure everyone's sitting in there, keeping them corralled up, keeping them starved. Clockwork picking up the Reaver here. Definitely thinking about some big strength items for himself. Most likely going to be that hard harass just so we can get in, really start tanking the damage so we can just feel safe hookshotting it onto the PA, onto the sniper, onto the Bloodseeker without knowing that he's just kamikazing and immediately dying. Got the PA picking up a Demon Edge here. Now this could be a Rapier. That is definitely something this PA can get a lot of use out of. Satanic as well. Probably going to be a good option, but we'll see if she's going to go for a big YOLO. Again, we are about 50 minutes into the game. It's feeling like Dire have a pretty significant advantage, but again, every time the Dire's tried to push, they've just been stuck. They can go in, they can get some chip damage onto structures, but they can't finish the job. Radiant, they're able to just burst him down too quickly, split him off from the herd, focus him out. Sniper seems like he's ready to give up the long fight, but I don't know. I'm not going to tap the Radiant out of this just yet. Radiant's going to scan the Roche Pit. Of course, scan does not work on the Roche Pit, only outside the Roche Pit, so they don't get the information they want. The Roche death will reveal that something's going down. Storm Spirit picks up the Aegis once again. This is going to be a really nice initiation tool for the Dire. They can have the Storm just kind of YOLO in, burn up all his mana, know that he's going to die, maybe get a couple hexes off first, and respawn BKB and just flash out of there with all your fresh, shiny Bloodstone charges. So we'll see if that's going to be the play, or if Radiant has something to say about that. Last time, it wasn't too difficult for them to burn down the Aegis, and we'll see if this time's going to be any different. Radiant definitely gearing up for a big fight here. They know they've probably got one or two more shots. If they're able to get a full wipe on the Dire here, there's definitely some hope. But if they get wiped, I think these structures are going to melt way faster than anyone can deal with. AnneeDroid taking a shot or two, just meching himself up. Surprised he actually hasn't built the full Greaves yet. I thought he grabbed it earlier, but it was just the point booster for his Aghanim Scepter. So definitely something you can go back and upgrade then, but it's a little bit late to be thinking about that. Again, 50 minutes in with already a completed Ags. He's got some good gold in the bank. We'll see if he wants to save for buyback, start building towards something like a Refresher, or if he wants to go and finally complete the Greaves. Drow Ranger eager to show off this BKB. It's fresh and new at 10 seconds, but will she actually get much use out of it? Again, Drow's favorite thing to do is just be a sentry turret. Sit on the back lines, start wailing away with the frost shots, just go in deep with the gust, but she is going to be focused down a little bit more than usual just because Radiant know that she's going to be a key source of damage here. You got to focus down the Storm, focus down the Drow, the Nature's Prophet. Those are the hit list for the Radiant. Radiant now starting to starve. They've been sitting in their base for a long time, really not able to leave except to clean up these creeps right on the low ground. So heroes like Bloodseekers that want to be constantly farming are starting to fall behind. Look at his net worth. It has just plummeted after a successful lane. Going for, again, we talked about going for the early Abyssal Blade, the early big items. They're just going to end up stunting you in the long run because you just don't have that slow, steady buildup of stats. You feel less safe initiating because you know other people are just going to feel a little bit stronger than you at certain points in the game.
Whoa!
Storm Spirit cleaning up. Gonna take a little bit of damage from Illuminate, but certainly nothing that can't be regened here. A Repelled Drow Ranger moving up onto the high ground. Bloodseeker's gonna go ahead and Blood right. There will be a Rupture onto the Storm, but again, he does have the Aegis. Gust coming in, connects onto the Coddle. Can they bring him down? Aegis pops from the Storm Spirit. Chipotle moving in, trying to buy some space for the Storm Spirit to come back, BKB, and move forward here. There's gonna be an Echo Slam coming in. They get the stun off. Guardian Angel comes in, and then it's gonna be an Ags Guardian Angel. Now they're moving forward. They want to get this kill onto the Earthshaker. They are able to do so. PA comes forward. She's got the Mjolnir proc on her. Chipotle may be biting off more than they can shoot here. BKB is abound. A Sniper now tries to run back to his base. We've got PA, Storm Spirit now dueling it out, but the catch isn't going to be there. The Abyssal dropped out. The Abyssal's really paying off here. They are able to get the kill onto the Storm Spirit. That's going to be huge. Buyback from the Storm is going to go ahead, use his Boots of Travel to get back into the fight. This is going to be something that the Radiant can deal with right now. They're going to buy back on Earthshaker to try to go and defend this. Now, he doesn't have his ultimate. They're just going to have to go up against the slow siege of the Dire squad. Keeper of the Light using that illusion just to go and try to defend these racks. The racks will end up falling. Meanwhile, top lane taking some damage as well. They will go down. Player one has just been sitting there doing patient damage all game. BKB's coming back in. Drow Ranger, she's moving forward, gets off the saddles onto the PA, but PA mans up, takes out the Drow, will lose her life, does have buyback, is going to be coming back into the fight. Sniper now, trapped in the Sprout, just trying to go in, real focus down the Storm Spirit, looking for more there with PA jumping in. They get the kill, and then Nature's Prophet as well, spoils within a fraction of his life, just goes in, stays focused, and gets the kill. Omni Knight, the lone survivor now. Can Svetlana come in? Can he throw the dagger and close in? Gonna path himself incorrectly. So Sunday should be able to get out here. Doesn't have a TP scroll, but might be able to wind his way around the forest. PA coming back through, but not gonna pick the correct path this time. So very well played once again by the Radiant, and Dire just getting a little bit too cocky. You can see even by the alt chat, they think they've completely won, and yeah, 2 sets of racks is really unfortunate, but now you've got such a huge influx of gold going to the Radiant heroes now after that fight. Sniper, did you just do the thing that... Oh. Alright, we have got a Divine Rapier pickup for our Sniper. That is one of the riskier heroes to carry it, because once he's locked down, he really doesn't have a whole lot of escape. It's not like he's sitting on Shadow Blades and Blinks and whatnots, but he's really going to have to rely on his team to come and defend him. We saw last time, as he was being focused down by the Nature's Prophet, the PA was able to jump in and cast her Abyssal to lock him down. So they've really got to have that communication and teamwork if they're going to do that again, because Sniper, he can put out a lot of damage. He's hitting real gosh darn hard right now, but his defenses are weak. He's got sub 2k HP. He's sitting on 13 armor. He's about 4 or 5 shots from Nature's Prophet, so they've got to keep some good eyes on the little bro with a gun. Storm Spirit down to 8 Bloodstone charges. We're almost an hour into this game. Overall net worth is starting to plane out around 15,000. It's still looking good. The Dire definitely have this game within their reach, but look at the XP now. These last couple of fights have really started to make up lost ground for the Radiant when it comes to their levels, so things are going to be on a more even playing field. When it comes to defense, I mean, you've just got Bloodseeker as a great zoner. You've got Earthshaker as a great initiator and a great zoner. And Sniper, he's just going to sit back where Dire feel a little unsafe going, and he's just going to be that sentry turret now with that Divine Rapier, hitting close to 500 damage a pop. Omni Knight looks like he is going into the Refresher Orb, so wanting to get the most out of his Guardian Angel. Drow Ranger picking up that Satanic. I do like this pick on her. I think it's going to benefit her a lot in the long run as she has to just go and 1v1 these heroes. Dealing with that, something like a Sniper, having that Satanic against him, it's going to make it really difficult for him to focus you down before he gets killed. Storm Spirit still moving around. He's going to be flying in his next item, which is going to be the Bloodthorn recipe. Just leveling that up. Dire, well, they're grouping in. They want to get this done. They want to get megas right now, and they absolutely can. This tower is within a shot or two for Drow or Nature's Prophet. PA initiates with the dagger. It's not going to crit. It's not going to bash. Now there's going to be that move in from the Storm Spirit. He's going to get mana leaked up. Has to be a little bit careful now. The rest of his team, they're trying to bail. They've got to get out of here. Omni Knight is going to go and try to heal everyone up, but Storm Spirit's low health, rather ruptured and low mana. Bloodseeker takes up the clockwork, and this tower, as of now, is defended. Keeper of the Light continuing to just go and be annoying. The mana leak a little bit less obnoxious than it was in laning phase, but still something that Dire don't really have the tools to deal with. The magic immunity can only last for so long. Dire really trying not to give up the chase here, trying to keep the Radiant on their toes, but it seems like the Radiant, they've got plenty of tools to deal with this onslaught of damage. They're going in, they're slowly but surely burning these Dire heroes out. Again, there is no initiation coming from the Clockwork, who's dead without buyback, and everyone on the Radiant is relatively full health, full mana, and ready to fight. Drow Ranger gonna get defused off. Zip into the Storm Spirit though. Look at that Abyssal! Look at the damage! Guardian Angel comes in. Do they have the magic to cut through him? Hell yeah, there's gonna be the Echo Slam. Now they're looking for more. Guardian Angel gonna be wearing off pretty soon. It's Ags, but it cannot last forever. Mech comes in, but will be focused down. And they are able to get that kill. They get the Nature's Prophet as well. It's going to be a full team wipe. Radiant, they're holding on here. They lose no one in that fight, and they get 5 kills for themselves. Well, that was just about the best fight you could ever hope for. They keep the racks up as well, and the tier 3 tower. Seems like Dire, they're just dropping the ball. They still have that illusion that they are so gosh darn strong, but the last couple of fights have really given the Radiant now an XP lead, and they're going to be picking up a good chunk of net worth as well. You see these Radiant heroes wasting no time leaving their base, going right in to touch the tier 3s of the Dire side for the first time.
Middle tower is under attack.
Keeper the Light going to be dragging in one of her buddies. Looks like Earthshaker joins the party. This tier 3 is going to get very, very low, about an hour into this game. Chipotle thinking about initiating here. He's got a heart, but he just doesn't have the damage necessary here. Having that Blade Mail is going to be pretty great. Sniper with that Divine Rapier chunking down these racks. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome here. They get that melee racks. They want to back after this. Nature's Prophet's buyback is a little bit scarier than I think Radiant are giving him credit for. Finally, with the full lane of racks falling, everyone will retreat. I like this choice by the Radiant not to play cocky, not to do what the Dire have done and just continue to go for the slow siege. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker is going to be killed off by the Prophet, who TP'd into base, and he's going to get punished now. Storm Spirit dropping the Hex out onto our Radiant friends, but he's just going to bail here. He actually might have made a mistake. He's going to go ahead and zip his way up to the high ground, will zip his way through the Radiant jungle. If that dagger from the PA had bashed there, that could have been a dead Storm Spirit. Now Sniper with the double damage rune and now 2 Divine Rapiers. This guy is hitting for over 1,000 a pop. Whew, that's not good. Now even the Clockwork, he's got himself 3,500 HP with all his defensive items and his heart and whatnot, but that's like 4 shots for the Sniper right now. Don't really agree with the Sniper's choice to go for 2 Rapiers, but I guess he's in full YOLO mode. He knows if his team's going to come back, it's now. They don't want to sit. They don't want to let this go for another 45 minutes until it's stupid late in the game and everyone's tired and has to pee. He's going to go for those big plays now. It's high risk, high reward, but he's in the mindset where, you know, if he's not playing dangerously, he may as well not be playing at all. Omni Knight does finish that refresher orb now, so we saw how much work it did in that last fight. The Guardian Angel is a pretty much perfect counter to Sniper's insane amount of right-click damage. Just making sure everyone is not taking that right-click damage, and they're going to have to rely on their magic, which is not exactly great. I mean, you've got Coddle's Illuminate, it's an alright nuke. You've got Earthshaker's Drop the Base, it's pretty nice, but
Immortality is mine.
there's a finite amount of magical damage on the Radiant, but not necessarily a finite amount of physical damage, as PA, Bloodseeker, and Sniper are now right-clicking pretty stupid hard. Storm Spirit has the cheese. He's got the Bloodstone, or rather the Bloodthorn, but his Bloodstone is only going to be at 5 charges. Clockwork trying to take a minute, but he's okay. Just pausing on and off here. I like the beat. It's pretty nice. Yeah, there we go. Really getting into it. Oh man, it's my favorite part. Oh, we're just gonna drop right into it now. Yeah, there we go. Looks like the Radiant, they're gearing up for another defense here. They're not phased anymore. If I was in their position, I'd be terrified here. I lost 2 lanes of racks. I've given this game over an hour of my life, and it's getting real scary close to being over. So they're going to do everything in their power to make this another team wipe. Coddle moving forward. I like this Fissure just to block out the creeps, but Drow Ranger is still capable of going in and doing some damage. Zip into the Storm Spirit, going and grabbing down the Keeper of the Light. The first Guardian Angel is going to be used perhaps a bit prematurely. Bloodseeker going in, trying to think about who to focus here. He's going to drop the Abyssal, but of course can't do right-click damage to the Drow Ranger. He goes down, does not have buyback, but look at the Sniper just chunking down through the Storm Spirit's Aegis. And now he's looking for more here. Sniper, he's sitting back, but this is going to be a Storm Spirit getting dangerously close to himself. Zip in, grabs up the Sniper. Sniper now taking some serious shots. These Rapiers could be on the ground before you know it, but looks like Svetlana buying some space, buying some time, using that Satanic the best that he can. Now Sunday will end up going down to this sniper who, if it wasn't visible before, now has 2 Divine Rapiers, and looks like that's going to be a rampage coming in for the sniper. Very high risk, high reward play. That's a nice little reward right there. He's got himself almost 5k gold after that. Please don't buy a 3rd rapier. My heart can't take it. Sniper now crawling his way to number 1 on the net worth chart after that fight. Nature's Prophet, his reign is finally overturned. He hasn't made a whole lot of item progress in the last couple of minutes because he just goes in, he goes for these bold plays. He still feels like he's on top of the world and can 1v1 anyone, but honestly, it's getting difficult for the Dire right now. Overall net worth is going to be right back towards 0, and XP is actually going to be in favor of the Radiant by about 10,000. So looking at levels here, you've now got almost a full array of 25s coming in onto the Radiant side, spare your 2 supports, and well, still some level 20s for your Dire supports. So things starting to spread out a little bit. The Clockwork, he's having a tough time here. Before it was all about initiations and going in and surprising those Radiant heroes, but now the Radiant heroes aren't able to be surprised. Sniper, he's perfectly content to 1v1 you. Same with PA, same with Bloodseeker. Sniper easily able to clear out these waves, but Dire, they're not giving up hope just yet. We've got Storm Spirit now with no cheese, no Aegis. He's still relying on his Bloodstone, but the charges are starting to wear pretty thin. Hopefully he's able to go get a good zip with the Scythe of Ice, and now it's pretty clear. If the Dire didn't already have a game plan, they need to get down this Sniper. Putting 2 Rapiers on your Storm Spirit, on your Nature's Prophet, hell, and your Drow, even your Omni Knight, that damage is going to be phenomenal. And now again, Omni Knight does have the ability to make everyone not feel pain for a long time. You've got 2 Guardian Angels with Aghanim Scepters ready to go, but Sniper, Nature's Prophet, what are you doing, son? Sniper's just fine. He's going to go ahead and walk himself back to base. Philip J. Fry trying to 1v1, drops the Abyssal. There is going to be a Dagon popped out, but it's not enough to take out the Bloodseeker anymore. And that's going to be Nature's Prophet essentially feeding himself. He's down for about 100 seconds with no buyback. Similar story to this Storm Spirit. So 65 minutes in, it feels like the Radiant now have this game completely within their grasp. They didn't give up. They played smart. Sniper went for some big plays, but it is really paying off. Omni Knight, he's at 1,700 gold, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do this here. His Refresher's back online as well as his Guardian Angel, so he's got 2 of them, but he's just going to take a quick moment to think about what's going down, and that's going to be a mistake there. He repels himself, but the right-click damage is just going to be phenomenal. If they can catch up to him there, look at Sniper just chunking him down. They've got to find a way to stop him. The repel, it's going to be ending soon. Illuminate comes in, and there we go. Sniper's now beyond godlike. There's a pause requested by the Nature's Prophet, but I don't think this Clockwork's coming back. I think he's had just about enough of this game. It's been a tough game from him right from the laning phase. Is it going to be enough here? We've got Sniper just going in, trying to chew on these tier 4 towers. They got to break that backdoor protection. Slowly but surely whittling him down. Caudle just going, trying to heal himself up, of course, with that Aghanim Scepter, able to do a fair amount. I mean, this is through backdoor protection. This is a lot of damage being done by the Sniper. Now the creeps are going to be coming in, and look how quick these towers melt when there's no backdoor protection. The Ancient, soon to be exposed. We're going to have one last fight. The Dire not going to give up without a struggle here. Hookshot in, Chipotle doing some work. Whoever microing him is doing a good job. Omni Knight, though, still in the grave. There's no buyback. You'd sure as hell love to get 2 Guardian Angels out right now, but the Radiant looks like they're doing it here. Svetlana gets low, but will be focused down. Player 1 not able to get the job done. Chipotle just sitting around smelling the roses. Sniper and the Earthshaker buy back. The Rapiers, they're going to be sprayed every which way. Storm Spirit now has 2 Rapiers on himself. This is a great situation for the Dire. Look how quickly that call gets low, but oh, Sniper, he's having none of that. He's going to get his Rapiers back. He's getting chewed on by creeps, though. He's got to watch himself. And looks like that Divine Rapier is going to be going down. The Rapiers are splashing everywhere. They're hot potato. No one can hold them. Looks like player 1 going to get focused down within his own sprouts. More Guardian Angels coming in. Who's got the Rapiers here? There's one sitting on deck. Who's got the other? Looks like Keeper of the Light now has 2 Rapiers. It is very easy to focus down this Caudle. Having a lot of damage does not mean you have a lot of survivability. He's going to be going in, trying to do what he can, but 2 more Rapiers on deck, and looks like Omni Knight grabs both of them up. So Omni Knight is now hitting very hard. The Dire Ancient is exposed at about 90% health. Radiant, their own base is wearing thin. They've got one tier 4 tower to defend. It's now anyone's game. Clockwork is still disconnected and dead. Sniper, though, 75 seconds with no sniper, with no buyback. And now there's an Omni Knight hitting for a shitload of damage. Oh. Is Omni Knight really doing this? This is his team's shot to come back here. He's going to AFK in base with 2 rapiers after going and killing the most impactful person on the Radiant squad. That's just shitty. Looks like a pause coming out. We can go ahead and fast forward for a little bit here until we get out of our pause. Do do ba do boo do do. PA's dancing. We're at 4 times speed. I can't imagine how frustrating this must have been for the players to get in, to get this far. And now it appears that Omni Knight is still AFK in the base, holding on to 2 rapiers. Even with the Storm of Spirit back, the Omni Knight is not going to play, which is, again, a real dick move. PA gonna get rapidly pinged out by her teammates. Everyone's probably a little bit on edge. Bladder's full, stomach's empty. Bullshit tolerance at max. Now stun up, they're trying to go in. Looks like Storm Spirit not gonna be too phased by that bash. Gonna pop into his BKB after the initiation. Not quite sure about that. If the Dire were gonna come back from this, it's on the back of the Omni Knight holding 2 rapiers, but it looks like he's just buying observer wards and planting them in front of his base, effectively throwing the entire game for his team after 70 minutes. That's sad. Just go ahead and see what's going down here as the Dire trying to mount a push without 600 free damage. They're going in. They are able to get off that Hex. Storm Spirit doing whatever he possibly can. They're bringing in the Drow as well. Dish out a ton of damage. Oh, but the Echo Slam, they've kept this Nature's Prophet locked down, and they are able to focus him with spoils. And it looks like this is going to be that last hold. The Hex up onto the Storm Spirit. Everyone's pretty much going down. Storm Spirit buys back, but knows it's pretty much futile at that point. Omni Knight pops the Guardian Angel all too late as Drow Ranger is dead without buyback. Radiant, it's just up to them to go and push the lanes now, as it's pretty clear that Dire are not able to mount successful defenses. Alright, unfortunately the Clockwork has abandoned the game. Omni Knight has thrown the game for his team. Storm Spirit, he's still trying so hard, but I just don't think he's big enough to go Storm Spirit versus the world here. Dire, they're scanning up right on top of where the Radiant's at. So it's pretty clear that they're moving in towards that mid lane. One more successful defense here. Again, there's no buyback on the Storm Spirit. The only buybacks in the game are on the Omni, who has decided not to participate, and the Bloodseeker.
Now over here. Zip.
Radiant probably feeling real good now, as it's not going to be a hard Ancient threat here. We've got Storm Spirit just going in, doing what he can, just having some fun. A couple moments of freedom here before watching his Ancient go down. There's going to be Guardian Angel, effectively. Another fortify coming in. Meanwhile, on the back line, Sniper going to get focused down, but they've got the stuns. Do they have the damage here? Phantom Assassin going forward. This is going to be Storm Spirit's last chance to hold. He's going to get mana burned down. Sunday leaves the base. He's got 2 rapiers, but looks like the Storm Spirit is not long for this world. Another Abyssal coming back in. So Omni rejoins the party all too late. He does not have another Guardian Angel and will lose this game. The Radiant, at about an hour and 12 minutes in, will secure a victory. Very well played by them. They didn't get too phased by 2 lanes of super creeps. They kept fighting. They got a couple of really, really nice team wipes onto the Dire squad. And in the end, the risky move to buy rapiers didn't end up hurting them too much because of a dick play by the Omni. So hopefully this game was a lesson. Don't be that Omni Knight. You're a huge asshole, sir. All right. Well, anyway, that's been one of Annie's replay casts. If you're interested in having your own game cast, head on over to moonduck.tv/replaycast, select your favorite caster, and submit a game. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day.